Is it true that Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS, is now seen keeping his distance from Jimin and even other BTS members? This question suddenly surfaced, shaking fans who had always seen their closeness as an unshakable symbol of brotherhood in the world of K-pop. This shocking fact seems to open a new veil in the internal dynamics of BTS. Is this merely a personal strategy, a coincidence, or a sign of deeper tension? This phenomenon did not arise out of nowhere. Attentive fans began to notice small details, moments when Jungkook seemed to reduce physical interaction with Jimin in public, less visible intimacy in live broadcasts, even body language that looked different compared to previous times. These small fragments were then pieced together, creating a larger narrative that raises one dramatic question. Why is Jungkook keeping his distance? Psychologically, keeping a distance does not always mean conflict. Many communication experts believe that changes in patterns of social interaction can emerge from an individual's need to assert personal identity. Jungkook, who from the beginning of his career had always been under the shadow of the label, the group's little brother, may feel the need to create space to grow as an artist and as a mature individual. By keeping his distance, he can show that he is no longer a shy teenager dependent on other members, but rather an independent figure ready to stand on the global stage with a complete identity. But why is the spotlight specifically on his relationship with Jimin? Their bond has long been known as very close, even becoming one of the main attractions in BTS's interactions. Any change, no matter how small, between them immediately sparks wide speculation. Some pop culture analysts argue that the extreme closeness displayed in the early stages of their career may have reached a saturation point. In such a situation, keeping a distance can actually be a form of emotional maturity, an effort to balance closeness with professionalism. From the perspective of group dynamics, BTS is not only a group of friends, but also a work team under extraordinary pressure. They live constantly in the public spotlight, every move is analyzed, and every smile is interpreted. In such an intense situation, it is natural for the need to create personal space to arise. Jungkook may have chosen to take a step back from overly intimate interactions to maintain his psychological balance. This is not a sign of brotherhood breaking apart, but rather a survival strategy amid nearly inhuman global expectations. Meanwhile, among fans, this issue has triggered a wave of emotional reactions. Some feel worried, some speculate about hidden conflict, and not a few try to rationalize by emphasizing that changes in dynamics are natural. This polarization of opinion actually strengthens the appeal of the news. The more it is discussed, the more mysterious the real reason behind Jungkook's attitude becomes. When examined from a career perspective, the decision to keep his distance could also be related to the South Korean entertainment industry's very strict strategies in managing an artist's image. Jungkook, who is now also pursuing a solo path alongside BTS activities, may be directed to project a more individual image. By reducing excessive closeness in public, he can strengthen his personal narrative as a global artist, not merely as part of the Jungkook and Jimin dynamic. Such strategies are commonly used to broaden appeal in international markets, where individual identity is often prioritized. But will this step affect their personal relationship? Most evidence suggests not. Previous interviews showed that Jungkook and Jimin still share a strong emotional bond, although now they may express it differently. As they grow older and face increasingly complex career pressures, it is natural for the form of their closeness to transform. It does not disappear, but rather evolves. This shocking news actually speaks more about how we, as fans and observers, consume symbols of closeness in the entertainment world. When every movement is interpreted, every glance magnified, and every distance seen as drama, we often forget that idols are human too. They grow, change, and sometimes need space, even from those closest to them. In the end, the analysis of Jungkook keeping his distance from Jimin and other BTS members is not a story of friendship breaking, but rather a reflection on the complexity of human relationships under the world spotlight. It is a narrative of growth, strategy, and how closeness can take new forms over time. The remaining question is, are fans ready to accept the reality that maturity sometimes means distance? If we look deeper, keeping a distance in the context of relationships among members of a big music group is nothing unusual. The history of the entertainment industry has shown that the greater the popularity of a group, the more complex their internal dynamics become. BTS, with their status as a global phenomenon, face far more intense pressure than most groups. Every interaction they have is not only consumed by the media, but also studied and analyzed by millions of fans worldwide. In such a situation, it is natural for members, including Jungkook, to feel the need to reset the boundaries of closeness visible to the public. Many observers argue that the changes seen are not signs of conflict, but rather forms of transition toward maturity. Jungkook and Jimin, who once often displayed playful closeness and physical affection, now appear more often with a restrained professional demeanor. This can be seen as a natural step. A mature relationship is not always shown through physical closeness, but through mutual respect for each other's space and needs. In the terminology of social psychology, this phenomenon can be called individuation, the process of building a personal identity that is separate but still functions within the group. Even so, there remains a dramatic element that cannot be ignored. Certain video clips, facial expressions, or even silence in interactions are often interpreted as evidence of emotional distance. Wild speculation then spreads, ranging from suspicions of personal tension to theories that the company deliberately manages their new image. The fact that such discussions can dominate social media shows how powerful the narrative of closeness and distance is in the K-pop world. Fans do not only love the music, but also the emotional relationships they project onto their idols, from the perspective of cultural sociology. What happens between Jungkook and Jimin can be seen as a representation of structural change in a small social group under global pressure. Every BTS member must negotiate between personal identity and collective role. The distance seen on the surface may simply be a strategy to balance the two. Thus, distance is not a divider, but a bridge to a healthier and more sustainable form of relationship. In addition, we must also consider the aspect of mental health. The South Korean entertainment industry is known for demanding extreme discipline, long working hours, and high public expectations. In such conditions, keeping a distance can become a defense mechanism. Jungkook may be building a safe personal space so he can continue to be productive without losing control over himself. Meanwhile, Jimin and the other members, though they may feel the change, most likely understand the reasons as part of their journey of growing up together. Therefore, rather than viewing this phenomenon as bad news, we can instead read it as a sign of BTS's maturity as a group that has lasted more than a decade.